making the whole community have to parent your child now. This is getting beyond the joke. And at the end of the day, while God gives me health and strength, I should be out here at every opportunity trying to pull up you parents. And as I said, if it resonates with you, so be it. Come and challenge me in a way that is done with peace and love, because that's what I'm about. If you can't see that I'm about peace and love and trying to drum home a message for you guys to interact more with your children in opposed to letting society have to do the job, then you know what I mean? So be it. I don't mind being persecuted for doing something righteous. I recognize this is my calling out here. I became a family support worker. I've always been a community support worker. I'm a parent. I'm a person.
Yes, well, Almighty Creator bless the soul of the departed young athlete who was murdered in the Croydon area, I believe. He was a sprinter and was very much involved in the Croydon Harriers athletic team. I believe he was 17 years of age and he was stabbed to death. Why? There's no justification for murder. And you know, my heart goes out to the family as well as to the soul departed. You know, may our Father, Mother, God, guide him and light up his path in the world and the other side. And to his family and to us all on this earth plane here. And yes, and as the sister was saying, children don't want to be children anymore. Little girls, with their long hair and these sort of hairstyles that big women wear, and they become bait for young boys and men. And it's true. I mean, I myself, I've looked at someone from behind and thought it was some woman in front of me. And then when I turn around, I see it's only a little schoolgirl. I say, my goodness gracious me. We have to be very careful. I could have tapped her on the shoulder from behind. And, next thing I know, I'm being accused of, of messing around with young schoolgirls.
Perhaps the fashion industry has a lot to do with it, because I remember back in the 80s, children of 13-year-old, 14, we had like dresses. You can tell that this style of clothing is for children and this style of clothing is for adult. Then over the years, we discovered that they were designing children's clothes to look more like adults' clothing. So you get like an adult clothing which is quite sexual, but in a smaller version. So the children began to dress more like adults. I feel that has a lot to do with it as well. You cannot tell the difference between adult clothing and children's clothing.
But also another thing I've noticed is that children these days, when they talk about money, they're not talking about £50 or £100. They're talking about thousands of pounds and millions of pounds and all that sort of thing. And I spoke to my grandson. No, my daughter spoke to him and asked him, because he wanted this and he wanted that. And so she has to go and buy him these things. And she told him, and supposing I couldn't afford to buy you this, then what? He said that he'd go and sell drugs or something to that effect. And that was at the age of 12. So we're living in a different world here now, where children wanting to have few thousand pounds a week in their pocket, and where does that leave time for learning their lessons at school? Where does that leave time for playing as children and developing as children?
I feel again that children, they do say that we learn from what we see more than what we hear. So I feel like children, they're just basically mimicking what they see the adults do.
Yes.
So I kind of feel if we're going to help to heal the children, although they've got a very strong mind of their own, we really have to, with compassion, maybe reach out to the adults who want to heal. Because I know in my line of work, I meet a lot of adults. They are very wounded. You say, yes, we're talking about healing, guiding the children, but I feel we have to go back to the foundation. That's the parents, looking for ways to introduce method which they can use to address their own traumas, because they're carrying a lot of trauma, you see. And I feel in the state of this trauma, they want to bury themselves in maybe trying to beautify themselves, and they lose it. They're losing connection. So this is how I feel.
Yes, well, you made a strong point there, Princess Otis, about parenting, where if I lack parenting skills myself, then how can I possibly parent? It's very, very, so the parents need parenting, and I would urge a lot of parents out there to join the effective parenting and strengthening families and strengthening communities with a course on parenting with the Godwin Lawson Foundation that happens at the Triangle Center on St. Anne's Road, 9:30 till 12 p.m. on a Friday. I'm actually going through that course at the moment. We're just halfway through now, and it's very effective indeed. It's helped me a lot, and I've seen the progress it's made by the help. People have admitted, other people on the course have admitted it's helping them in their relationship with their children. Although it's things that we know already in many cases, but we need these things to be reinforced or be reignited in ourselves. We need to be reminded, because we forget with so many distractions and so many illusions out there.
Yes. I'm really glad that you're able to link it with the whole thing about effective parenting and the whole thing about trauma, because this is where the work needs to be done now. And it's quite interesting that, we've had at least about 4 or 5 events. I think this one will be the 5th one, if I'm not mistaken, focus around effective parenting, right? And it's, for me personally, it's very liberating, because hearing the contribution by so many different people, some young people make some very powerful contribution, and those who've been through some challenges, trauma, abusive relationship, and it also ripple effect with their relationship with their sons, their daughters, etc. And now they're, because of the healing and the meditation and the work they've done, they can see more light now, and they're going out there and helping people and right, and what we're talking about really is trauma. Earlier on, me and Sister Princess had a very powerful conversation, talk about ancestral healing, because a lot of this stuff come from the DNA and what's passed.
Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. Oh, grateful. I'm so grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit.
The question is really that, I mean, you know, we need to be talking, understand what's going on. There's a size, a lot of stuff I'm going through, and when we talk about mental health, you know, we all got mental health. There's mental health, there's physical health, there's spiritual health. You know, you will be human if you never cry, sad, laugh. You know, but the challenge is we're in that state for weeks, months, even up to a year. That's why it's a challenge. That's why you do need tools to take you out of this. It's no different than someone going in the park, you know, and all of a sudden it get dark on you. You know what I mean? And you don't know where to go. You will get confused. You will get confused. You know, you'll be just, you know, you get confused. You know, so you do need someone to take you by the hand and take you. So you need to go that way out to the gate, etc. You know, so what we're talking about is serious stuff. You know, it's very serious stuff. The sister who played a clip, you know, I like her fire, her passion. Some people might have issues what she's saying. Personally, she's on the button. She's telling it as it is, raw and straight. You know, parents need to take responsibility. And it's not about blaming anybody. We're not here to throw stones and blame anybody, because we all have to take responsibility. I'm not going to judge anybody, because to be honest, I'm still trying to judge myself, what I'm dealing with, you know, at times, you know. But we're all in the same boat, you know. We're looking to, you know, get forward, and we now spend time and looking at the system and blaming the system, etc., because they've got their agenda. Their agenda is quite clear, you know, etc. It's just that we need to have our agenda, and our agenda is about working ourselves, come together as a family and be more productive, you know, in the community. You want to say something, my sister?
Yeah, you know, I really agree with what you're saying, Brother Dougie. You know, the time for blaming is over. But I really do have a lot of passion for the parents, because you're all big and grown up now doesn't mean there isn't an inner child crying out. Because we have to remember, even our parents, they were once children themselves, and that child that is within every adult has been traumatized as well. So for me, I'm trying to set up something that will help to support parents, because if we can help to heal the inner child, which a lot of them are suffering from, I believe it will contribute towards being a better parents as well.
Absolutely. Yes, Tamara.
Yes, yes. I remember earlier on you were talking about emotions, and yes, and our emotions are something which affects our health to the point of suicide and so forth. And the fact of the matter is that I realized, for many years, I didn't realize that there's a difference between a feeling and an emotion. Although I feel an emotion, it's not the same as my feelings. Emotions are different to my feelings in the sense that my emotions are created and orchestrated by my thoughts. If I think positive, lovely thoughts, I've got all these positive, joyful emotions. And if I think depressive thoughts, then I have depressive emotions. But my feelings are actually independent of any thought whatsoever. It's like if I got a sudden feeling, leave the building now. And everyone is dancing and laughing, and and I'm saying, I'm going to come on I think we ought to leave the building now. And say, don't be silly, we're having a good time. But I follow my feelings and I leave that building, that feeling that came out of nowhere. It wasn't from any thought that I was thinking. and the next thing you know, the place is caught on fire or whatever, you know, and then you realize that, well, these are the difference between my feelings and my emotions. Feelings are always correct. They're always right because they come from spirit. But my thoughts, but my emotions dominated and orchestrated by my thoughts many times are wrong.
I love the way you explain that. You're 100% correct. I feel this is where meditation comes in, because you learn to just be empty. You know, because apparently they do tell us that even the thoughts, they're just vibrations that are in the air. Every thought, every scenario is already existing vibrationally. So I feel like if we have to, through meditation, you know, silencing the thoughts, connecting to the self, so that you can get to know which thoughts are really your thoughts. I don't know if that makes sense, because not every thought are your thoughts. You know, because I meditate a lot, I practice a lot of silence so that I can connect to my own inner being. I'm able to recognize when an energy enters into my vibration, and I know immediately that's not me. But if you're not practicing meditation to get to know yourself, you will take on other people's personalities all day and, you know, be completely off your path.
Absolutely. There's people pleasing. Yes, people pleasing is one way of, you know, always going along with whatever people's perceptions are, which also leads to a lot of trouble. It leads us to the youths again, because a lot of these youths out there, they're just people pleasing. They're pleasing their friends, their peers, they're, you know, by behaving in an ungodly, in a violent, dishonest way, immoral ways, and so on. You know, because we talk about things like the gun and knife crime, but also there's these youths who go around gang raping and stuff like that. This is very serious stuff, you know, serious stuff. And a lot of these poor schoolgirls, you know, are being subjected to these gangs sexually. I mean, it's horrific. And I think things like that ought to be spoken of more as well, because that is a death of a child there straight away.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That,
Yes.
you know, honest to God, you know, honest to God, I think that some people who experience these things would prefer being dead, actually, clinically dead, than to live the rest of their life traumatized by such an experience like that. Gang rape, you know, and these boys.
Yes. Listen to the recording of Tamara and Princess talking about effective parenting and ancestral African spirituality. And, you know, it's quite sad, because as much as we're talking, you know, probably down the road, right, see some kind of madness creeping. Somebody plan to shoot or kill. As we're planning to do constructive things, you have a group of people planning to kill, murder, rob, you know, and you ask yourself, what is the point? Even as I'm speaking right now, a couple of the staff, them at Chestnut Community Centre, where one particular conference was on the staff there, where a bunch of youths went in the centre and fire shot in front of the picnic them there, little kids them, one of the adults them, who was there to bring his, I don't know if his son or his daughter, to one of the classes, and he got shot in the back. It so happens that missed his spine, and right now as we're speaking he's quite stable. But that's madness. That's mental health. See? And the more we talk about these things here and try to empower people and try to encourage people to come together, you know, it's like you're on a losing wicket, you know. But right is kicking in now because people have had enough. People are fed up. People are disillusioned, and you start to question what's going on, what's really happening. See, because what's happening now, that I'm talking about young people, they don't care. They have no consciousness. You imagine, what I mean, kids the age of 5, 6 inside a center, and you still want fight. And those kids are gonna be traumatized by that kind of experience. See, so this is the kind of challenge we're up against. And my brethren Tamara, who will hopefully be joining us a little bit later on, always talk about this thing about being honest. You know what I mean? Because as you know, that he was a ex-gangster. He said he was an ex-gangster because the things he was doing was pure madness. But he was able to clean himself up. Live a godly life. Start to, what saved him again was yoga and meditation. See, and he's able to write about his journey, what he's been through and so forth. But his journey started off by, he was traumatized from a young boy, abused by his father. His father was like a sergeant major, and with that now, and as Tamara said, he come from the Caribbean, from a loving environment with his grandmother. His mum was a godly woman, and he came here and he was full of abuse, and the rest is just history. But he'll be joining us a little bit later on, Tamara, and filling some gaps. So we will be talking about with the young people, because what's happening, and it's quite ironic now that we have a young, beautiful soldier, beautiful soul, and his name is Ali, and he'll be reasoning with us, sharing his journey, and one of the things he does workshops with young people, comedy as a workshop, a beautiful way, and get young people focus, look at the potential within themselves, see, and then we're talking about his journey, because as a young person, it doesn't take much to slip down another side of the road, and you end up in there if some madness, and that's, I've called it. It's just pure madness, because I'm quite sad, sickened by this stuff, and and you always hear these things, but when it hits home, and even yesterday my friend was telling me that down Walthamstow, certain amount of stabbings, what's happening in Walthamstow, and doesn't matter, all over the country, man, people kill up each other and all them something there. See, if though we have enough chance we have already in the world to deal with right now. See, so that shows that we're out of our mind. We're literally, I would call it mental health. I'll call it mental health. And we talk a lot about mental health in the past, and talking about mental health, even here today, to adults, commit suicide, Imagine that, commit suicide. So it just shows you we got challenges and up challenges. Let's be able to be honest with ourselves, confront the demons. See, we'll always be in this situation, and that's why talking therapy is very, very important. Very, very important, because you have to get things out of your system. Things have been holding up for a very long time. Is able to come out, and with counselling, with the right tools and comedy therapy, writing therapy, acting, or whatever the case may, you're able to get this stuff out of your system. Anyway, we have brother Ali inside the house, so I want to bring him into the mix, see, and he'll be sharing his journey, how he got involved with comedy, acting, and he is what's the word looking for? He's someone we should look up to. That's a role model to look up to.
Thank you, brother.
Especially for the young people, them.
Thank you very much.
So we really do need to salute this brother here. Someone's been on a serious journey. I saw him when he put an event in Hornsey, crashed in the Picture House. It was a full house, well attended. The act was very good. Even now, I can still remember some of the jokes what some of the people was putting together.
Come on.
So it just shows you the impact it has, So it just leaves me to bring the brother to the house and just first I'm going to ask the brother, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm good, my bro. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Forget this this coronavirus thing, man. Shake the hand.
Yeah, for real.
The real OG,
Yeah.
No, have to. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm good, man.
Give
How are
thanks.
you, bro?
Yeah, man. Give thanks. You have to give thanks every single time.
Absolutely.
So, my brother, we want to go straight into the cheers, and it'd be wise give people a little background about yourself and how you got involved in the whole thing about comedy and acting, etc.
Boy, where can I start? You know what I mean? No, I'm Limz, Limz, Limz comedian, Limz Ali, for those who don't know. Comedian, actor, award-winning youth leader. Do you know what I mean? I've done stuff with so many different organisations. Just been all over the boat, just not obviously the boat coming in here. You know what I mean? But but yeah, I've been all over the place, just continuously basically trying to move forward, man. They tell us that obviously black people, Afro-Caribbean people, I'll say, we ain't got kinda in a way we ain't got nothing to kind of push forward right now, but it's with all this obviously knife crime, gun crime and stuff going on, the kids are going mad. So all I have to do in order to give back is more or less to just continue to do my comedy workshops, and my comedy workshops and acting workshops consist of me more or less basically going to schools, going to youth places, getting venues that I can obviously help use and get the young people to come through, because right now there's nothing.
Okay then.
There's nothing for them to do.
You're absolutely right. But
so they get trapped.
I want to touch on the workshops, and then I want to touch a little bit about your journey as well.
Yeah.
But the comedy workshops and the acting work to me is very crucial, very important, because it gives them a focus, gives them to do, and
it's different.
Different, that's right. That's the right word, in fact.
Yeah,
it's different. So the comedy workshops, how does that give us a little flavour how that run?
Well, basically I'll have young people obviously turn up, they'll come to the workshops. It consists of 2-hour workshops, and you have young people come through, more or less from what I work with is 13 to 20-year-olds.
Okay then.
So that's the age gap. And then when they come through, obviously they come through and they enjoy the session. I'm not gonna lie, they love it, because from what I've the feedback I've got back is I'll have comedians, actors, people, radio representatives. I'll have do you know what I mean? People from all over the genre in terms of entertainment, and then they'll come through. The young people will have their sessions, and then after their sessions, they'll obviously speak to me and speak to the whole group. Let us know what they've learned and how to consist themselves in terms of when they go to like auditions or they go to, I show them how kind of the industry is.
Right.
And what it offers and how you got to, what do you call it? Maintain yourself. How you got to act in order for you to progress. So this is all the things they learn, and then obviously they'll learn the logistics and the background of in terms of like script writing.
Okay then.
All of so many different bits. But
To do the business, yeah.
That's it. The whole business.
Whole business.
You know what I
Okay
mean?
then. All right then.
And in the end, I'll have like people like obviously Big Brother Dougie. You know what I mean? Like you come down and you speak to the young people. And then when you speak to them, you ensure them and you let them know, like, all right, cool. In the radio side, in the radio world, this is how you got to conduct yourself. And then they'll learn from that because they're seeing it like you're a big, you've been doing it for how many years, do you understand? You've got your name, you've done what you do. You're doing it now, you're doing it because you love it. It's not even, boom, it's about the money and blah, blah, blah. It's the inside and everything and what it takes for you to actually conduct yourself. You know? So I'll have comedians, actors, musicians, do you know what I mean? Like even politicians, do you know like that? Like I've had politicians like come through and speak to the young people.
Okay then.
Which was a massive thing as well because that's another side of media that people don't even see. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like politicians, yo. And I was even lucky to even have them come through.
Right.
Or her come through.
Right.
It's Catherine West, do you know what I mean? And
right.
A few events like, and it means a lot to me because even Princess Trust, do you know what I mean? Like they backed it. Prince Charles is, for those who don't know who Princess Trust is, Prince Charles, do you know what I mean? That's the king, the next king, and he backed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I met him on 3 different occasions.
With Prince Charles, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, due to the award, due to the sorry, what do you call it? Due to my workshop. Okay then. And through the workshops, I've won 5 awards.
Okay then.
And like that alone made me feel like, do you know what? It's a push. I just turned 30, innit? Do you know what I mean? I look younger and that. Come on. But obviously, I always playing it, but it is the truth. Yeah. But it's like, nowadays I feel like the young people are so lost, they don't have that guidance and they feel like they're losing that guidance. And when you took away all the youth clubs, what are they supposed to do but go back on the streets? Right. So what I'm doing is So what I'm doing is basically my acting comedy workshops. Right. And the workshops are basically like a youth club. So they have something to do outside the time when they could be, I finished school, summer holidays, little one-not holidays, Easter. I'm going to go out and chill with the mandem. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, you don't need to chill with the mandem. Come to the workshop, learn some new things, because you got football, you got tennis, you've got this, you've even got tennis, bro. You've got tennis. Do you know what I mean? Like badminton, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have no acting, no comedy, nothing, no workshops. Do you know what I mean? So I thought I might as well do this, and this will obviously help pull them off the roads, man, and give them something else to do, so they don't need to go there. Okay then.
I want to ask you in terms of how do you get involved with the whole thing of comedy? What, you know, well, stand up. Well, I tell you what, give us a background about yourself. You know, your journey, and how you got involved with comedy and acting and everything. How did it all start from?
Do you know what? Yeah, I started doing stand up when I was 13. Okay. No, stand up acting when I was 13, because I was in school while I was doing it, and I was a bit troublesome in it. So like this is why I can relate to these 1-2 young ones coming up. But it's like, obviously I was a bit troublesome, so I got kicked out of a few lessons and whatnot. But acting is something that I found that was intriguing for me. I wanted to do it. I wanted to. I don't know, I like to be a bit of a clown, innit? Kind of thing. You get me? So obviously, when I started doing that, that was in school. So from there, it kind of led to one thing, like I didn't have too much grades, right? So obviously I thought to myself, you know what? I need to do something different. I need to do something. And I broke my leg, like while I was playing football and whatnot. So that led to me kind of basically having no options. and then obviously acting came into plan, innit? And I decided to do a show, which was like Macbeth, innit?
Okay.
Macbeth back in the day, like, you know what I mean? Back in the day, for those who don't know, the youngins and the older ones, you lot will know, but Macbeth was the lit when you was in school, innit?
Right,
like, you know,
right.
Shakespeare, innit? In
Yeah,
drama.
yeah.
So I did that, and we changed it around to like Hackney versus Tottenham, innit?
Yeah?
Which was mad weird, like,
Okay.
but it was mad. But it was my teacher that did it.
Okay.
And then obviously I played like a porter, and I had to switch the script into an African man.
Okay. Then.
You get me? So I switched it up, and I did some joke about me having jelly and whatnot, and like the reaction I had from the crowd was mad, because I had a lot of people were there, like parents and whatnot, do you know what I mean? And the reaction was good, so I thought, what, like, comedy's a bit kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I might have to, but I didn't really think about it because I was like 15.
Yeah.
So obviously after that, what's the I call it? So I've obviously jumped onto the like acting side of things, because I didn't have too much things going for me, innit? I lost like my mentor, rest in peace, Mark, you know what I mean? But obviously I lost him at that time. And after that, like, obviously I kind of felt like I need to do something. And I thought, what will make him proud? What will make me proud? What will take me out? Kind of thing. And I decided to go to Westminster Kingsway, which is a college in central London, for those who don't know. And that was like a big stepping stone, because it's like out the area, out the ends, do you know what I mean? You're actually doing your thing. And I went with one of my best friends who's doing big things. Big up Jermaine Hunter, do you know what I mean? Massive. Like, he's been doing massive things. And you know when you have someone alongside you that will actually push you?
Push you, yeah.
Yeah. And he's a young black brother, similar to me, and he was doing big things at the time, you know what I mean? So it's like he helped me get there. And when obviously, like, so I went Westminster Kingsway, and then when I got to Westminster Kingsway, it was like, I met a lot of different people. It was a different environment. Let's say it's not Tottenham. I grew up in Tottenham, for those who don't know. I'm from Tottenham, innit? Yeah. So obviously, like, so these times, obviously, like, I've got to that stage where I needed to come out my comfort zone.
Right.
You know, but it was a push.
It was a push, yeah.
It was a push. I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
Do you get? So obviously, when I come out of it, and I was there, I'm alongside white people, suited and booted, less Warren Street, you know what I mean? King's Cross, yo. Like, it's not like back in ends where people tracksuit, blah, blah, blah. And this helped me a lot, because when I got to that stage there, I learned to, like, accept other people and work with other people a lot more and cut out the boundaries. Do you know what I mean? There ain't no boundaries in life. This taught me there ain't no boundaries in life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're your own boundary. So it's like, I had to learn this though, but I had to get out to learn this. So I'm in a different atmosphere and all sorts, and it was nice. But I met a lot of good people. Like, all tight, everyone that's done what they've done. Do you know what I mean? Congratulations and all that, man. Because there's a lot of positive people that came out of that college.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Black, white, whatever, Indian, Asian, whatever you want to call it. Most High, do you know what I mean? And like, this was a difference to me. This was a change. And when I've got there, like, obviously after I've left, like, I end up landing a role in it while I was there still. Sorry.
Okay then.
Yeah, in like what do you call it, Skins, which was on Channel 4.
Oh, so you was in Skins, yeah?
Yeah. I had like a advert on Skins.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. So that's what kind of like even just that alone, it pushed me to go to another direction, dimension kind of thing.
Okay.
And that was really nice, because I was not expecting it. I was just trying my thing. Like, it's like you come out, you're thinking, oh, let's hope for the best. Do you know what I mean? I've got there, boom, I've landed this role through just me searching. And then from there, obviously, I was having different auditions and whatnot, which was really nice. But somehow I end up linking up with Kojo, innit? Because I checked out Kojo's Comedy Fun House.
Oh, the Comedy Monday, Kojo,
the Sunday show.
Okay.
The Comedy Sun, so I must have checked it out, and one time, I don't know, them times it was MySpace.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And MySpace was different
Mhm.
because MySpace was not like a YouTube, how they have YouTube nowadays.
Mhm.
We had MySpace. You get me? MySpace was like, you have to put yourself out.
Mm.
Yeah, some kind of thing. Like how people are doing YouTube now, but MySpace, OGs, all the older people will know about MySpace. You know what I mean? I had to push it. And I've clocked it on there. And them times there, I think it was Dave Chappelle that performed that Kojo's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so when I checked it out, yeah, and I see one set it done, and then I thought, bruv, I can do this thing, you know.
Mm.
I can do the comedy thing. But really and truly, comedy is not a joke. You know?
No.
You may think it's going
No. It's not a joke thing.
It ain't
You
no
know,
joke thing.
you got to be really at your comfort zone. You got to be
relax and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can do this, man. And then one time I got a hit up from Kojo and I went to the show, yeah. I hit him up and I went to the show and I performed, and at the time I felt like people were laughing at me. You get me?
Yeah.
But I was laughing at my own jokes.
Okay.
And they were laughing at me, laughing at my own jokes.
Right.
You see it?
Yeah.
And I felt like, but I had the confidence because I was still young. I was like 18, you know. I just turned 18 from 17, 18, innit? You get me? And it was just like, it felt free though. I didn't feel, you know, like when you're younger. Now I'm 30. Trust me, I don't look it back. Now I'm 30. You understand and realize that you see like life, yeah. You see when you're younger, you slightly have no care. You see it? So I could go on stage and just have fun.
Just have fun with it.
Just have fun with it.
Right.
You see it?
So, but
and that's when I started it.
that's where you started the old comedy thing, yeah.
Yeah. And then, but I was doing acting previous.
Okay.
Because from while I was at college, I was studying acting.
Okay.
So I just kept pushing it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
then.
then, while I was at college, yeah, they kept telling me one thing though. I remember the teachers kept telling me like, you just got this face about you. You just got this thing of this look. You got this thing where you just go laugh, innit? Like you can do a serious role, but I can't take you serious. Innit?
Yeah, right.
And when you come to Shakespeare and that, you can't. You have to be serious. But me, I've got this thing where I'm just busting up.
Just busting up, laugh.
Making you bust up.
Yeah.
I'm taking the ballerina thing, making it look funny. You get
Right,
what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I'm not playing it like it's supposed to be played. But they're like, nah, you just got this thing, like, you get me, keep it up, like, and yeah, man. And then I done Comedy Store, man.
Okay.
Comedy Store.
Oh, the comedy store, yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Leicester
Square,
man.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was my first ever comedy show.
So how do you felt doing the comedy?
I love it, brother.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
So we done the show down comedy store. How did you feel being on stage?
The first time?
Yeah, first time.
Loud. Yeah, I won't even say the rest of that word there. But you know what it is, yeah? The comedy show was nice because the comedy cafe. Yeah, is it comedy show? Yeah. It's 2 minutes. Now, that was really nice because it was a thing where I just remember going up on stage, yeah, and they told me I have to last 5 minutes. That's it. You have to last 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
You got 3 red cards in the dark. You got 3 red cards. One day. You see it? And then, obviously, if one puts up the red card, the middle row puts up the red card and the other one. Remember, there's like, apparently, I think like up to 200 or whatnot people in there. Now, if like you got 3 red cards in each, it's like a football match, but you got 3 referees. That's the only way I can compare it. And then, if one puts up, that's 1 red card. Second one puts up, that's 2 red cards. Third one puts up, that's 3 red cards. Then you're done. Yeah? Now me, I had like 1, 2, and these times I'm supposed to last 5 minutes, bro. I end up lasting 4 minutes 52. Can you believe it? 4 minutes 52 seconds. The 3rd red card went up. My head was hurt. You get me? I'm thinking, But then the crowd are arguing amongst each other. Half and half, innit? Some are saying, he goes, like, obviously they compare. Who wants to see Limz come back? You see it? Now, real talk.
Yeah.
Who wants to see Limz come back? Half of them are saying, yeah, I want to see Limz come back. The other half are saying, no, don't give him another chance. This is an all Caucasian show. It ain't no black man show. Nothing like that. No Asian, nothing like that. You get me? So it was tough. But in the end, I'll be honest with you, brother. half of the people, more than half of the people, said they wanted me to see. They
Wanted
wanted to see me come back.
Okay.
And they end up putting me on the next show.
Yeah.
That was my confidence.
Right.
Because like, come on, I've lasted 4 minutes. 52.
Yeah.
I felt like you're gonna take the mick if
Yeah.
you actually try.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
But in the end, it was banging, man. Like after that, I felt the confidence. I went to Kojo's, man.
Okay then. Okay then.
Man. And then Kojo just gave me an open kind of just come, keep coming and mentored me.
Oh,
Him and
fantastic.
Richard and that, man.
Ooh, Richard Blackwood.
Yeah, and Kojo, man.
Richard-
They mentored me, man. They more like spoke to me proper at them times there.
Mm.
And there was a lot of comedians, all the comedians, man. Everybody, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? From Glenda Jackson to everyone.
Ooh, but-
They gave me so much love.
Mm. And Jeff Schumann was around them
Jeff
time.
Schumann, yeah, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Everybody, man. Like they gave me so much love that I felt accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And as a young brother, like I was 18, just turned 18.
No, very young, baby, really. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was a baby, man.
Yeah.
So it's like the love that they gave me made me feel more confident to go on stage again.
Go on stage again. Yeah, it's quite interesting because I've listened to Richard Blackwood, his story, his journey. Well, what it is that he was interviewing one of these talk shows, right? I was quite fascinated what he was saying because he said that he went to America, left and he went to America, and he said that he went out there to try if he can break it in the market out there. But he said that you're out there, but you got to spend money now, right? to be out there,
Yeah.
you know, go.
Ain't no cheap.
Yeah, you know your appearance now. You know you're in this
You have to look the part.
you're in these hotels and you know, and you got paid bills and rent and this and that. And he said it was just he just couldn't keep it up. You know, it's just too much for him. You know what I mean? When he come back now, right? He come back and he said that yeah, you know, he's always driving, but you know, he's walking now, right? And he said that I was walking down the high road, right? He said that a man looked upon him, right, and goes, you're walking." Right? Right, he says, yeah. The man looked at him. Yeah. So he looked around and said, he said he couldn't believe it. The man looked at him, right, and goes to him, "Look at him, you're walking." But he said that, yeah, it was a turning point. He started to look at things differently. But he said that, yeah, he was at the highest one stage, right? He had everything. He went to America, tried to boss it over there, and he just couldn't cut it out there, you know. But yeah, he said it's just interesting. But I mean, I remember I was so rich when they first come on the scene, really. Then Electric Cinema, he was doing some comedy down there. Because I was involved promoting films, them time, the black films. I know that, yeah, Jeff Schumann, him and them managed to spar in the early days, but you know, yeah. But it's interesting. It's interesting. So how is Koji? How is he? Kojo, yeah.
Kojo's doing good, man.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, he's doing good, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cause I think that's some stuff at the has it Hackney Empire or something, one of them places.
Empire, and he's all over.
He's all the place.
Going on his tour now. He's on Britain's Got Talent tour, isn't it?
Okay then. Okay.
Not Britain's Got Talent tour, but he's on his own tour.
On his own tour, yeah.
Yeah, he was on Britain's Got Talent and that, but
Okay then.
yeah, now he's on his own tour, so he's doing big things right now.
And what about the other one there? Richard Blackwood.
Big
What?
up Kojo, man. Come on.
Yeah, and Richard Blackwood.
Original.
Yeah, Richard Blackwood. How is he?
He's doing big things. Man.
Yeah?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You could catch him in Hollyoaks and things. Imagine that.
He's in Hollyoaks.
Hollyoaks and everything. Yeah, man. You can see him and all that.
Okay then.
Yeah, man. Everyone's doing big things. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
that's what I mean. Like from me coming up from them ages, they're like, it's big. Like I feel privileged, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't come off this kind of like social media exploded. Do you know what I mean? Over the years, but I came off kind of my own front, where I had to work for it, and I'm grateful for having anyone that even came around me. Like big up everybody that's been around me and spoke to me and told me good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you're young, you definitely need some elder
guidance,
heads,
man. You need
guidance.
that.
You know, I'm just when I feel like that.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, yeah.
And even though, like, right now, like, some people might look at it like, whatever, this, that, and the other, but I'm just grateful, 100%. Like, do you know what I mean? Just the outside life, when it comes to you being in the industry alone, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is hard.
Do you know what I mean? Like, trying to keep up with everything, and then you're trying to live with normal life and this, that, and combining and da-da. It's really hard, believe me. Like, for those getting involved, wherever the camera is, I don't even know. But do you understand? Like, right now, like, not even right now, just in general, you need to maintain your focusedness, because it's not simple and it's not easy, especially with all of this stuff that we go through in life. And all of this, like, you've got, do you know what I mean? You've got, like, all this knife crime, gun crime. Remember, I'm still a young guy.
You're still.
I'm not even, like,
you're still,
you know, a big man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm perceived in a different kind of genre at times. Some people might see me and they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
They don't know what I do.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they might see me like I'm a youth. Like, you get me? Like, understand? Until the grey hair starts showing up. Yeah, when they look deeper into it.
But let me say this. If it's young talent, or youngster who wants to get involved in comedy or even acting, right? What advice would you give them right now?
Listen, follow your dream, believe in yourself, do what you want to do, and do not let anybody tell you what to do. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but at the same time, some people are going to give you positive advice, innit? Don't get it twisted. Like, and you got to listen to everything that's said to you. That's the hardest thing, like, listening and taking on advice. Because sometimes it could be damaging, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it can make you feel like you're worthless.
You're worthless, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, just believe in yourself, believe in your talent, do what you're going to do what you believe you want to do and you need to do, because ain't no one can criticize you about your talent, because you've got it. They ain't got it.
Yeah.
They ain't got it.
Yeah, you got to be.
You get me?
You got to be single-minded, really.
Come on, man. Sometimes you got to be greedy, man.
Yeah.
They ain't got it. If they had it, why don't they do what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, you got to be single-minded. You got to have that kind of. See, I should put it. There's certain. When people talk about ego's not really a bad thing, you know, right? Because you got to have a certain amount of ego if you're gonna make it in this world here. Don't care what anybody gonna tell you, right? You know, you got to kind of. You got to have certainty. You got to be focused, and you've got to. If you want it, you got to go out straight.
It's not even about ego, you know.
But it's not about. No, it's not. Yeah, it's true. Not about ego.
Ego's not even the word. Do you know what it is? Ego, is it's a trigger, isn't it? When someone said you got an ego, it's a trigger, because that's someone looking at what you possibly can do, but they're using it as an advantage to get you feeling worse about yourself. Yo, you got an ego. No, there's no ego. Yo, I'm happy about what I want to do.
Well, ego's probably not the way. Confidence. Self-confidence.
But confidence comes across as an ego.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's how you look at it. When someone got that kind of self-confidence about them, people might say they're about ego, but no, they are self-confident. But in this business here, you have to be like that. You have to be self-confident. You just have to, because it's about survival.
Reach for what you can and do what you can and do what you want to do, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Right. That is the magic word on there. Believe in yourself. Now.
Okay then, we're gonna have a short break, and then we come back to the reasoning. And you look at in terms of love in a crazy way, whether it's food, drugs, or
definitely.
Yeah, and I think you kind of bring that to attention some time ago as well, in terms of the reasoning. So
it's also a different point.
Yes.
I'm bringing here is that as adults, I'm saying we don't, there's not enough. There's too much emphasis placed on the flesh. There's no distinction in our day-to-day activities between the flesh and the real life.
Right.
So trauma is there. It humbles you, because the only way you're gonna get through trauma is by humble humility. That's the only way you get through trauma. Tell me different. You see, the only way you get through trauma is humility. So it stands to reason that it's there to bring you to that point. You see, bring it to your knees, because when you get to that point of humility, now you only have to depend on the spirit, on life, real life, not the food sheep or the accessories to life. You now have to depend on real life. This is why in the Alcoholics Anonymous, when you go Alcoholics Anonymous, not that I've been, but I would go. I'm not, looking down on them. The fact that the first principle is, in order to heal from alcoholism, the first principle you have to accept that you have no control over your life, and there's a greater source. You accept and believe and hand it all over to the greater source.
Mm-hmm. Yes, brother, that's right. We admitted that we were powerless over drugs and alcohol, and that our lives had become unmanageable. And the second step is we made the decision to turn our lives to the care of God as we understood God to be. So I know what you're saying, brother, 'cause I've been through the whole process. I'm still an AA member and NA member, and I'm very happy and full joy to be a member of those fellowships. You've got wonderful people in there, lawyers, great actors, singers, musicians, scientists, teachers, all, really, and big businessmen. Lots of great people are in AA and NA. And they could be our own brothers and sisters. There's nothing shame about it and all that sort of nonsense. It's a place of healing. The fact is that, my trauma, was dishonesty. My dishonesty kept me sick for a very long time, drinking and drugging. And it was when the pain got too much, in homelessness, no friends, no this, no money, no nothing, no business or businesses. I said, my God Almighty. And I dropped down on my knees and I said, God, please help me. I became honest, because I said, yes, I'm an addict. I need help, God. Please help me. And help and help came immediately. Within seconds I was asked if I'd want to go to an AA meeting. And that's how my journey in recovery started, and with honesty. So trauma is a way of getting us to be honest with ourselves. It drives us within to come to the point of truth, because only the truth shall set us free. Nothing else. There's no escape from that.
Yeah, and you're so right. And the reason for this is because events in life have brought them down to what, to who they really are. They're left back with just the essence of who they are. And what happens there is the level of truth. Something I look at a lot, death row. You see, death row, especially those who are forcibly held, there's a level of truth and honesty that comes from a person when they reach to those places.
Right.
And that's why I say pain and joy, back to that again. You see? Because those are two levels of life. That pain is a depth of life. It's a depth, a vibration of life that we feel them residing. And hence people cry over pain and joy. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a pressure, it's an intensity of life, intensity, and and that takes us beyond the physical at times, with the relaxing, of course. Because the whole parable, if you like, or the mystery is to be relaxed and intense at the same time.
So, all right then. So, it's quite interesting you bring this kind of reason to the table now, right? So, I mean, we was talking about the whole thing about cleansing and fasting and meditation, and I know you do some serious, intensive work in terms of observing nature and dealing with life and truth and all them thing there, you know, on your personal journey, you know. So I know you done some serious work, but people listening right now, people might be going through some challenges, and you know, it could be, you know, so many things. Relationship probably comes to mind straight away with people.
And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the
Yes, just playing a recording of Dr. Kinsu, as you know, one of the great scholars out there.
I think the first thing that we can mention for any is humility.
And also we have
greatly needed
Brother Ali inside the house.
And it goes back to what I'm
It's
saying
reason
here,
of
that
us.
and if this is not a disrespect to no one, this is more of an exhortation, is that we think too much of what we're not. You know, there's too much emphasis on the physical, on the body, so it makes it hard to detach, and it versus compassion. You know, it versus compassion, and I think that's, you know, these are the key aspects to, in order, humility and compassion go hand in hand. You know, and those are definitely the prerequisites in order to move forward into acceptance, you know, and responsibility. You see, these are the key words, and they're massive words. And it's like, but we could take one of those words and be here all night. And it's beautiful because, you know, these are the kind of mentality that's required for us to break down the barriers in our community. And because we talk about oneness, but we're not really living oneness.
It's true.
And the thing is, it's not a disrespect. I'm not attacking anyone because I'm a part of the problem too. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in order for us to understand really who we are first, you know, who we are and how our, because all the answers are inside of us.
Right. Kinsu, just put a pin in it right now, because Tamara and Prince, they're gonna make a move. Like, no, I still want to reason with you, if that's okay with you still, yeah?
Okay, I'll call back.
Yeah, all right then. Yeah, please.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
All right then. All right. So, Tamara, you want to do a quick point for your flash? Because I know you got to.
Yes, brothers and sisters, this one is dedicated to all those suffering depression at the moment, in whatever shape or form it may be. And I think all our lives are touched by depression one way or another. The depression. When depression came, I didn't see the past in my life had caught up with me. The violent abuse I suffered as a child, my uni education that had been denied. So many things I'd suppressed inside, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, in a pitch black tunnel with no light in sight. Depression came like a thief in the night. Don't know if it came from the left or the right, but in denial I put up a fight with coke and alcohol abuse to make things right. My appetite for business and money was gone. Life became void of fun. A good woman was needed, but I couldn't find none. My chances were 1,000,000,000 to 1. alcohol and cocaine. They were the enemy and not my friends. But way back then, I didn't comprehend, as they anesthetized the pain, anger, and torment. To forget the years of betrayal from family and friends, men and women who came for financial gain, feeling like an outcast with a million friends. Committing murder appeared to be justified after the way that I'd been crucified. Yet somehow God kept me off that path, 'cause only God could abate my wrath.
Okay, then give thanks, Tamara. Okay, Princess, can you let people know about the event what's taking place, please? Quickly.
Yes, on the 15th of March, this Sunday, at Wood Green Library, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'll be facilitating DNA and ancestor healing. This is a very powerful healing session. Many people are having testimonials, so you're highly welcome to come. DNA and ancestor healing at Wood Green Library. And if you want to call us, it's 07869 2991 07869. No, it's 0786911 2991.
Okay, then. So we want to give thanks, and then we'll be speaking hopefully later on. Yeah? Okay, then. So pick up your status, man.
You're going to face those things. You're going to face the fact that your child comes home and there's conflict between the values, or they believe something completely different to you. But it's okay, because you need to understand what they're believing or what their values are at the time, and then you need to try and understand more where they're coming from. So are values and beliefs important in raising a child? You better believe it. Another important area that I firmly believe is overlooked is teaching young people about beliefs and value systems. Is teaching them to understand their belief systems and also to understand the values that they hold in their lives. And this is one of the solutions, in my opinion, to why a lot of young people are doing things like committing crime, violent acts on the street, and some of them even murder, because they have no value, no understanding of values in society. And so, but if we take it back, and this is where the parents will come in, the value system is something that you need to understand as a parent, because a lot of parents out there believe that they are failing their children. And they, when young people get to 12, 13 years old and they start changing, parents believe that they've failed that child. But you have to have a firm understanding of what the value system is. How do values work in your house? So you've got to understand that between the ages of 0 and 7, the child or your child gets its values from you at home. That's called the sponge stage. That's where everything you tell them about the world is correct. Everything you tell them about, be cautious out there because this might happen, cross the road this way, that might happen, don't smoke. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your child will naturally believe you because they naturally believe in the values of the house. Now, the problem with some young children, and if you look at year 4 in primary school, is that around that age, which is just 8 years old onwards, between 8 and 13, your child starts using the values of a friend. So your child might start looking at, why do I have to go to bed at 7 and my friend goes to bed at 9? So I am going to choose that value system, and that could create a conflict in the home because your values are that you're in bed at 7 o'clock, and it's always worked. But for some reason in year 4 now, 8 years onwards, you are having a conflict with your child about the time to go to bed. And that's because your child is now experimenting with different values. And it's not your fault. It just means that your child is exposed to more information. And so your child might be coming home swearing. Your child might be coming home acting a certain way. Your child might want to join a gang all of a sudden, because between the ages of 8 and 13, they're going through a different process of building beliefs and values. So you've got to learn to understand that the support is needed during the 8 to 13 stage where they are going out and experimenting with new values. I mean, for example, if you look at the amount of children that experiment with alcohol and tobacco during those years, and you start wondering, we've never taught them at home to do that. Where are they getting this from? They're simply testing what's going on in the world. And so for a parent, it's quite difficult, because understanding those changes without understanding, a human being's belief and value systems leaves you in a position where you believe you're failing your child and you don't know what to do to engage your child. You think you've lost your child. But it's around this age you have to focus your support on working out, what are these new values? Where are they coming from, for a start? And then what you can do as a parent is you can test those values. For example, if your child is now saying that smoking cigarettes is fine, you need to test those values. You need to take your child and show them the long-term harm of tobacco. This is a stage that you need to be doing this, or the long-term effects of drugs, or the long-term effects of not eating right, or the long-term effects of getting involved in gangs, an activity that's going to leave you with a criminal record at an early age, which is going to last for the rest of your life. So the value system is an important, integral part of what family life should be. So we move on from 8 to 13, and we look at 14 going on to 21. Now, between the ages of 14 and 21 is called the superhero value building stage. So your child is now looking fully out into the world to find that hero to idolize. And this is why I'm always talking about music and the effects of music, because those people, those superheroes who are in the world now, are the people that young people look for to be role models. And they might have completely different values to the values you have at home, but your child is going to test those values that that superhero has. So that age between 14 and 21 is called the superhero value testing stage. This is where your child is looking deep into the world to experiment with as many things as possible, because all your child is simply doing is testing to see whether or not between the ages of 0 and 7 you were telling them the right things. And so your child might get involved in a violent act, or your child might get caught smoking, simply because they're testing the values that you've laid down for them. And the funny thing about values is this: when a child becomes an adult, so let's talk about 21 years on, it's really strange how a child or a young adult starts to revert back to the values of 0 to 7, especially when they start having children. You'll find that instinctively us as humans start reverting back to those values which we knew were the core values of the house at the time, and the values that actually helped us to survive up until now. So it's really strange. So young people are going through this process where they're looking at these idols. A lot of these idols are singing negative lyrics. They're telling them what to do. They're showing them a lifestyle, which in my belief is the wrong age to show them, because now young people are walking around believing that they need to have diamonds, Rolex watches and big cars at 16 years old. So this is because they're getting the values from these artists that are showing them these things, and they're showing them it's possible. So for me, values is an important part of understanding your child's behavior. And it's something that you should prepare for as a parent, because you're going to face those things. You're going to face the fact that your child comes home and there's conflict between the values, or they believe something completely different to you. But it's okay, because you need to understand what they're believing or what their values are at the time, and then you need to try and understand more where they're coming from. So are values and beliefs important in raising a child? You better believe it.
If I was a young person in this time, I'll be frightened, I'll be worried. For the simple reason, a lot of people who are involved in youth work are frightened of young people. A lot of people who the government say they have set up schemes to work with young people are frightened of challenging young people. They only want to work with young people who can conform to the so-called norm, while failing to understand that those who do not conform, there's a reason why. As a young person, I wasn't rebellious. As a young person, I was taught to respect my elders. My parents had that colonial mentality. It wasn't for bad, it was for good. They only meant good. However, I feel for those
children. I'm tired of it. If any point that what I'm saying is resonating and making you sit back from wherever you're watching this on and thinking, who is she? I'm a person in the community that cares about your children. You understand? I've only got one. Mine's doing just fine right about now. I know where he is. I know what he's doing. And do you know why? Because I made it my business to learn. I made sure that I knew who his friends were. I made sure I knew who his friends' parents were. I made sure I knew where they lived. You understand? A phone number is not enough to warrant my child going round there. Equally, there's a lot of people that are blaming the young people out here for all what's going on in the roads and the devastation that is befalling us as a nation of people. But I'm telling you, it comes back to basic parenting. How many of you parents are in the dance, and when the dance finished, you're looking to go to the after party in opposed to going home and there going and look back your children? You're making the whole community have to parent your child now. This is getting beyond the joke. And at the end of the day, while God gives me health and strength, I should be out here at every opportunity trying to pull up you parents. And as I said, if it resonates with you, so be it. Come and challenge me.
Okay then, we're going some serious reason now because I've been hearing some disturbing news, and it's kind of disturbing, you know. And as I was saying earlier on, we got to focus around the madness. You know, this is mental health, most of you, right? Yesterday at Chestnut Community Centre, where you have the pitting them going there, you know, having activities, some dancing, group from 5 to 7, you know, they have drama group and upstairs dancing and some group downstairs. And some incident happened outside Chestnut. They went inside, you must run up the stairs, you fire a shot after the person there. Bystander who was there, who was pitting them, right, got shot in the back. So you imagine the panic and the scream and all kind of stuff. 3 shots, you know, one got hit this huge, yeah. And from what I understand, because I was speaking to the sister, and sister goes, Dougie, what do you say? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? And she panic, and ambulance come and the police come and she had to hide the pitting them inside the office and lock the all kind of madness, you know what I mean? And as she explained to me, she started broke down and cried because she said she one day as a staff, and you know, madness. And the same place there we've been hearing events there, and Tamara Gabriel witness, we'll be talking about effective parenting, talking about gun and knife crime in the same building there. And the same building someone get, so just that's kind of hit home now.
Trust me.
Right? See? And it's not like say them have a little beef and then take it or put a car and bring it inside the building. That is the madness of it. And again, that shows that they don't care. They have no conscience. You know. That's a level of what we're dealing with right about now. See? And as an organization, as me and Tam have been going around talking to parents and to few young people, you know, that we need to be more responsible. Coming together, and you know, it don't really hurt me, you know. Cause I can understand some parents don't have the time, they don't want to come and everything, but some people can't even bothered. But when something is happened now, watch and see. Go say we should be doing something about it.
It's all after, isn't it?
It's all some we start to react and say, well, yeah, what are we doing about it? And the same people you talk to, right? They can't be bothered. Right? But anyway, we understand that. Because we understand what time we're in right now. See? So, and even someone saying to me, and it's in the paper, it must be news that in Walthamstow, certain amount of stabbings happen in Walthamstow and so forth. Yep. And then Tam was telling me something happened the other day down in Croydon, right? But it's happening all the time.
Everywhere, isn't it?
Everywhere we go, you know what I mean? We're just literally slaughtering ourselves. You know? It's quite interesting because the other day, I remember there was a fly flying around in my room, right? And I tried to set a trap for to grab it and deal with it, you know what I mean? Come my space. Yeah. Right? Every time I go for it, the try just move, you know? But the point I'm trying to make it, even a fly have respect for life.
Trust me.
A fly has a respect for life.
Trust me.
See?
What happened to the human beings now?
You know? So, we have to know what time it is. You know? I'm going to open the live link in about a few minutes. But I'm going to ask the brothers them to make the comments how they feel, because something like that is really is sickening. You know, I'm going to tell you, it is sickening. It's madness. Yeah?
It's disgusting, man.
You know? And so forth. So I'm going to make the man them just reason and tell them how I feel, because enough is enough. And every week we be talking about this thing here, and it's like people don't care. They're on a beastful level. You know? The thing what hurt me most, you know, it's not so much the beef them have, but they bring it into the center where there's no say picnic them little kids them there, and that's trauma. You know? And the people run and say, listen, we have enough of this team, we can't buy this thing. You can't blame them. You know?
There's no respect left, innit?
Yeah. So yes, so Ali and Tamara, just come in and just give us your thoughts and stuff, man.
Well, greetings, love, light, and healing to all the community.
Is your mic on, Tamara? Oh yeah, go on, Tamara.
It is an abominable thing that happened there inside the community center with the children around, and with or without the children around.
Yeah.
But with the children around makes it even, the gravity is even worse. This is insanity. This is ungodliness. This is a lack of love. This highlights the urgency for us, the community, to come together, to work together, to unite, to express the love that is within us, that we are scared to express. You know, we're turning into a community where we're afraid of each other, and then we've got other communities afraid of us as well. This is self-destruction at a level that is unseen and unheard of in my lifetime anyway, and I've been living in London for a long time. This is an emergency, sisters and brothers. We must join hands and hearts and minds together, and let our spirit be one, and that spirit be of love. We're appealing to you to attend these effective parenting workshops that we're holding at the same Chestnut Community Center, and no doubt there'll be others at some other centers as well, or other venues too. We urge you to come forward. We urge the parents, bring your children. We urge the teachers to come forward. Help us to get into the schools we need to spread the word, not only the word, but also with action. Action. The time for talking and talking. We can talk, but let's talk and act at the same time. We cannot just be talking and talking and talking and waiting for 10,000 people to gather around before we take action. The time is now, sisters and brothers, and we need to invite God Almighty, our Creator, into our lives once again to direct us and guide us and protect us. This is an emergency, and we need spiritual power in order to give us the strength, and the tenacity and the courage that we need, because mental strength and physical strength alone is not enough, sisters and brothers. We need more than that. And that spiritual power is the power of love, unconditional love. I love all the children out there. I don't business. I love them all. You're all my family. We're all one. We have one Father and one Mother. Father, Mother, Creator, God. Holy Spirit, Almighty Creator of the heavens and of the earth, of many trillions of universes, not just one universe, sisters and brothers. And it's that power there we have strayed away from, chasing after foreign ways and foreign thinking, idolizing money, idolizing cars, jewelry, furniture, and all and fashion and all kind of, and movie stars till footballers and rappers and all kind of people become gods, to the youths, and none of them seem to be any good example apart from a few like Kobe, the basketball player.
Rest in peace.
Yes, and there are more good examples out there, and we need to highlight these people. They need to come out. We need all you people, high achievers, you people who are good people out there and doing well, living in love and peace. We need you to come out there and show our children that, look, listen, it doesn't have to be this way. They were born in Broadwater Farm, and now they are director of this, turning over $2 million a year. This one is director or chief executive of that. This one is doctor, lawyer. This one is this and that, and so on and so. We need the good people to promote themselves, so the youth can see the light. That is not just about selling drugs and wanting to kill each other over drugs and money or some other foolishness. All this is foolishness. And the foolish ones say in their hearts that there is no God. This is what happens when you're a fool, sisters and brothers. You say that there is no God. God is abandoned. Our Creator is abandoned. And so therefore, I urge you, I beg you, please, let's come together, phone in. We need to hear. We need your suggestions. We need your ideas. We need your vision. We need your input in this. We need your feedback, and we need it now. Blessed love.
Everything.
Yes, love.
Good.
Need it all. Do you know what it is like? A lot of people fail to even understand that it's just. It's just like, you might look at it and think, yeah, it's just words. It's just words. Someone just saying something. But really and truly, yeah, a word, like just a sentence alone can go so far in changing someone's life. Do you understand? It can go just like you saying, look, stop. For example, just saying stop. Don't. All these words, yeah, they don't mean do it, they mean don't do it. Do you understand me? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's literally one of them ones where it's just like, you got to realize and understand that all these people need is guidance. All these youths need is guidance. Do you know what I mean? Just tell them stop, don't, alone. That will go so far. Like, and even with the parents alone. Watch what your youth's doing, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm not a big man myself, but at the end of the day, just watch your youth's doing. Like I said I was talking to Brother Dougie earlier, yeah? And I said to him, like, even just going to the shop nowadays, you send your youth, go get milk from the shop, go get sugar, go get rice, whatever it means from the corner shop. You don't even know if the youth's gonna come back. How about that? Do you know what I mean? And he's just gone to get milk. But because of what's going on, there's no stoppage kind of thing. I feel like there's no like discipline.
Yeah, there's no discipline in the homes
no discipline.
Anymore. Yeah.
And you have to watch and discipline comes from home, innit? It comes from home.
Yeah.
Even though you lot hear me speaking the way I'm speaking, yeah, I'll say in it and blah blah blah. All of this stuff say blah blah blah, like I just said, yeah. I'm a comedian, whatever, yeah. Get with it. But at the end of the day, this is real scenarios. This is real situations that I'm talking about, and I've lost people. Boy, I guarantee now, everybody in London, at least they know someone that's lost someone that's lost someone, or someone that's lost somebody, because of all of this stuff. And that's not even just in London. This is the whole country. Like, I remember there's a comedian that said how Dave Chappelle, I think it was, he goes, like, this is one of the comedy videos that I kind of watched back in the days, right? And Dave Chappelle said, right, he goes, it was a joke, but I'm taking a joke element out of it. But Dave Chappelle goes, right, he goes, you know why I'm scared of London or UK? Because you lot stab each other, man. In America, we shoot each other. That's a distance away, you know. So I don't have no feelings. I don't have nothing attached with the person. I'll shoot him, and that's whatever. It's a distance. You know what I mean? Miles away it could be. Now, in London, we're stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're stabbing, right, that means you're actually you're putting your whole full throttle through a person, like, and you're feeling it. Yo, that's fuck. Sorry to swear. That's really bad. Do you understand? Like, in terms, that's like, you see your head, yeah. You see, like, you guys touched on the subject earlier about mental health.
Yes, this is mental health issue. Yeah.
Mental health issue. Yo, you gotta be, like, your head's gotta be somewhere else in order for you to do something like that. This is you feeling someone's organs and actually, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then going, like, yo, bro, like, you're heartless. That's heartless. Even back home, yeah, they don't even do it like that. Who's talking about knife crime back home? Yeah, shootings. You're gonna get stoned down to death, but stabbing, brother, that's a different thing, you know. And then the way these people are running around, these young, whoever's running around doing whatever they do, you're shooting wherever the guns are coming from. Yeah, like, these things are coming too easily. How can I explain it? You can get
like
it
sweeties.
Yeah, man, you can get it too easy, man.
Well, the fact of the matter is that these youths out there, they born into certain conditions, and suddenly they are given drugs to sell. They didn't get the drugs themselves. They didn't know where to get drugs. They didn't know where to go and get gun. You know what I'm saying? So it is the elders who are responsible in this issue here, in this matter here. You know, we are responsible, and as elders, we have to set an example, you know, and the example has to be one which is leading our youths away from drug dealing and gun shooting.
With the lock off of all the youth clubs and that, you're not giving the young people an opportunity, are you? Because they're out here thinking, alright, cool, so what am I gonna do if holidays, Easter holidays, whatever holidays it is, what am I doing? They're not doing nothing, so they're gonna go to who? The older, innit? And the older is gonna say, you're gone.
Yes, well, we have to sort that out amongst ourselves. We, hundreds of years ago even, we created our own social activities. You know what I mean? Which involved the whole family, the youths, the whole community, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Well, the thing is, yes, that's right. Well, the thing is, these things are still valid today as they were then, social media or not. What do you do when the computer breaks down? What do you do when if everything just collapsed and all the rest of it? Bank shut, this, that, bus can't move, train can't move, planes can't fly. And these things were functioning before the computerized aspect came into being. So we've disconnected from our true selves. As a community, we have to return to installing activities and things for after school for the youths and so on and so forth. We don't have to wait on the government to reopen our centers for our youths. We as our community, we can do that. And we must do it now, sisters and brothers. And this is only one aspect of it. But it's most important that parents step up. Step up. As a parent, if I don't love my child, then at least I must be honest with myself and know that I have a duty to protect my child and to guide my child in the right way. You know what I mean? And that way is not the way that I was brought up. If I was brought up, in a negative way, then I know I have to bring them up in a positive way by looking at positive examples, by asking, how can I help my child? How can I do my parenting better than what my parents taught me? And this is why there's also parenting classes, strengthening families and communities, with the Gordon Lawson Foundation, which we from Rehab to Life Foundation, we are a part of, affiliated with the Gordon Lawson Foundation in cooperation with them, supporting them and working with them and respecting them and loving them in that parenting work. Just as we also with Find Your Voice events, also effective parenting with Brother Dougie. We're all working together, and we need all you other people out there to collaborate with us and let us live in the solution. Let us act now. We don't have to wait for £1 million or £10 million in the bank for us to. Let us start now with what we've got, and I'm sure we've got a lot. We've got enough to start, doing things, for our children out there, our sisters and brothers, and our sons and daughters out there. We're all family. We're community. Let's express it. Let's bring back the love. Don't be afraid of loving, because if I don't love myself, then I am a killer. I'm a murderer. That means to say, I have no self-respect, so I don't respect another. And as Brother Limz was saying there, it's easy to push a knife into somebody and all that, and through their organs and all the rest of it, and walk away with no feelings whatsoever, because
but it seems like it's harder for them to get a job.
Yes, it's harder for them to.
I mean?
Yes.
Thing,
Yes, that's another thing. Jobs, we need mentors to come in here, and to help our youths get work, and also create work. And we as a community, we have to get together our businesses or this and that and our talents and so on, and including our money, and we have to create employment in our community, create businesses, so that can help our children into some kind of work. Positive work. Let's build our community. Let us build ourselves at the same time. When we're building our community, we're building ourselves. This is not a Lone Ranger issue. This is a community issue. This is not a I'm all right, Jack, I don't care issue. This is
made enough money I can sit back and
yes.
No. You all that money that you've made, you bring back into the society if you want to, if you need to. Not even if you want to, because it's basically either you sit back and say, yeah, well, I want to do it. But there's a difference between want and need. Now it's a need. It's not a want anymore for the young people.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? The young people ain't got this want. No. Because what they want to do is go stab another man and get that money that he's got. What they need to do is go get a job. You understand? And then they don't need to go back to grab this one and that one for his trainers, for this one for his hat, for his jumper or jacket or whatever the weather. Do you understand? And these kids are doing it, and it's starting from a younger and younger. Me just speaking right now.
Yes.
This stuff can put me in jeopardy, bro. You get me? Yeah. I could go outside, just in case, just to get a cab or a bus or whatever the weather, and I'm done. Someone can come try to touch me because they were like, yeah, I heard him on the radio. Why is he talking so much about, he needs to do this, people need to do... Because these young people have lost, like, the mentality to move forward. Like, they're just thinking, whatever, man, it is what it is, though, innit? Trump, innit? Donald Trump... Like we lost it, no Labour, none. These kids don't even know about Labour back in the day when people used to get houses and blah blah blah. There was youth clubs, there was this, there was that. They don't know about this. All they're living through is the fact of but there's nothing for us. There's nothing for me to do. I can't do anything. I can't. What am I supposed to? What do you expect me to do? What? Go school? How dare you tell me what do you expect me to do? Go school? Go school. Little one, go school, get some stuff in your head, get a little, not even little, go get yourself something, a certificate for you to be able to get a job. But then they'll get that, go to the job, that you can't because you're from Tottenham or you're from Brixton or you're from Housden or you're from blah blah blah. Sorry, I can't employ you. This is what the older lot need to see as well, because you're giving the youngins a reason for them to literally go out and say, but they're not supporting us though. They're not supporting us though. And when they start thinking that is when they're gonna see the next youth that's got better trainers, that's got a better jacket, that's driving a car at 18 years old, and they're gonna want to take him out. Do you understand? And this is the problem we're going through. So even the older lot have to realize and see how deep it is actually getting, because you can sit back and say, but my days this, my days that. It doesn't matter about your days. It's not your days anymore. This is these youths' days now. This is these people's days now. You understand? I'm not even talking you as in terms of 13, 12. These youths are going back to like 8 years old and 10 years old, yo. They're out here now. You got older people sending them on the street.
Yes, I saw.
At a 10-year-old, you're sending a 10-year-old on the street.
My Lord, have mercy.
Brother, come on now.
Yes, it's heartless out there. It's heartless out there. So
it goes from top to bottom.
Yeah. Well, you see, we, the community, I know that for a fact that there's mostly good people in our community out there. And we have to come together, because we know for a fact that there are elders out there who are not good people, who send little children like 10 years of age to run crack from one address to another or whatever, or carry a gun from A to B or whatever it may be, or to go out and steal or whatever it is. These parents, they're not parents. They're an enemy to their children, and they're an enemy to themselves, and they're an enemy of the community, and yet, you'd find that, they're probably the first ones to get mad and get angry, and the thing is, anger cannot wipe out the truth.
Never.
And murdering someone because they spoke the truth isn't going to wipe out the truth neither. Never, ever. You can't kill the truth. You can't murder it. You can't wipe it out. The truth lives forever. And we need to be honest as our community.
Not just about people, within ourselves alone.
Absolutely. And if we as a community know people, our neighbor or whoever, who are treating their children in that way, we have to tell them something. We have to ask them, listen, I can see something is going on here. Please, let's get please, before the youth ends up dead or ends up, in a life sentence, let's stop this. Stop it.
Even these youths have been committing suicide. We're talking about all of this stuff about gun, knife, crime, rape, these kids are committing suicide like there's no tomorrow now.
Yes. Well, this is also part of it, because when you're not being yourself,
and you're not talking to the youth, you're not talking to the young person, you don't know what they're going through, so you're never gonna understand. So you're leaving them to be in the shadows. Once they're in the shadows, they're going to go back to their room or wherever they're going to. And what they're going to do, sit back and dwell. Once they dwell, you don't know what they're going through, brother.
Yes, once they isolate, that's it.
Isolated.
Yes, and that is the thing. There's too much isolation going on. Too many children sitting in their rooms with their computer or whatever and watching all kind of nonsense. Some of them are even being bullied on social media as well, and the parents don't even know nothing about what's going on. How can you be a parent? How can you be a family when we don't know what each other is feeling or thinking? You know, come on, and this is because of a lack of love. There's a lot of parents out there who believe, well, I provide. Some parents, they think providing roof, food, clothes, and shelter, and that's it. That they're being a good parent. No, anybody, a stranger, can give a child food, clothes, and shelter. There ain't nothing that is a natural thing. The youth, them need love. They need to spend quality time with their parents, talk about their feelings. We need to get around the table, have meals together.
But what did I say? Communication.
Communication, that's exactly. Communication, yes, indeed.
Same way you have the communication in a relationship with your missus or your mister or whatever.
Yes.
Have that with your child.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because when you don't have that, you're going to lose your child to the roads, to wherever it's going to go. And then you're not going to know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And once you don't know what they're doing, what happens? You're going to end up crying, saying, oh, but my child's gone. He was such a good youth. How you know he was such a good youth now?
Indeed. In fact.
You didn't communicate. You didn't chat to the youth.
Absolutely. Well, this is down to, and a lot of us have been dishonest here. There's too much dishonesty going. The same thing that a lot of people saying, oh, you know, my child is a good child and this and that. And a lot of them are lying. You know, are liars. You know, there's too many lying going on out there, which is only making the situation worse. We can only set ourselves free from this situation with the truth. That's what will set us, as a community, free from the slaughter of our children.
Why are we afraid of the truth? It's one question I want to ask. Both you guys are OGs to me. I look up to you guys. Why are people afraid of the truth?
Well, people are afraid of the truth because, you know, the truth requires courage. You know, it requires strength. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, absolutely. You know, to admit that, well, this is what's happening to me, or this is what I did, and I am, you know, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. You know, it takes so much strength and courage that people rather take a knife and joke you. You know what I mean, and all the rest of it, than because they're afraid. Absolutely, absolutely, fear. They're living in fear. Exactly. Our community is traumatized with fear. And fear is the result, is the consequences that we see all around us, all the murdering, all the drug dealing and all this and that. People think they ain't going to get rich unless they do something illegal, you know, and immoral, you know, and all that sort of thing, and dishonest. You know, they think that, you know, this is the only way you can make money and all the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? They don't think about, well, oh, let me just get a bucket and go around and maybe ask a few shops if they want their window cleaning at, I don't know how much it is, £20 a time or whatever it is.
No disrespect, but you got Romanians on roadside, on the motorways. It's not even a joke. Them man on the motorways, they're cleaning your windows, you know, dog. And the youths over there on the side.
Yeah.
In the little thing, they just hold the youth, and then they're cleaning your window. You're telling them, don't. They ain't even, you know, like you're telling them, don't do that. And they're just like, yeah, I'm cleaning it anyway. I've already done half the job.
Yeah.
And then the most man will give them a little change there. Yeah. You understand? Most man don't even want to do that. They're like, what are you mad? What are you? And you just drive off on them. Just spray the thing, wipers, everything done. You get me? But you've even got them trying to do something like that. Do you understand? There's so many things, so many, like, I'm from Africa, and let me give you an example. You see in Africa, bro, Jamaica, same situation, I guarantee, these people will create a job out of anything. Anything. You see now, yeah, I hope the government not listening to this. But at the end of the day, now, real thing, yeah, here, now they've just started doing this, what's this Santander bike, the little bike thing, the bike, whatever, whatnot. You pay for it. Back home, how long have they been doing that? They're putting you and a woman and everything on the bike and riding you to the destination. Anything. You got a mango tree, yeah? The man take off 1, 2, 3, 4 mangoes, whatever the weather, put it there, and they've got a little stool. They've got a little stool, but that little stool is their business. So everything that's money is there. Here, yeah, nah, but I can't though, innit? I can't do that and I can't do this because obviously the government and blah, blah, blah. Do you understand me? Now, this is where you need to put the thoughts into the young people's heads. Yeah? Anything's a business. Like, stop trying to rely just because you go to that shop there. Yeah? Like, when I started working, yeah, back in the days when I was like 13, bruv, in Tottenham alone, fam, up the road, bro. Yeah? I used to clean my man's shop. You understand, bro? Like, I'm cleaning my man's shop. Sweeping for my little £6, £7. This is like 2003, 2002 and whatnot. Them times there, like, because I was fresh here, innit? But at the end of the day, that was an opportunity. And these young people nowadays seem to believe that there's no opportunities for them. Because you're led to believe, because the government said you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this. I need to stop stalking too much. But do you understand? And I believe this is like the kind of side, and they need the older people, like the elders, yeah, to like bring them back to life and make them realize and remember that, you know what it is, like this is okay, yeah, cool. I'll sit here and say, oh, yeah, I'm saying this stuff, but if my dad or my granddad or whatever, rest in peace, granddad, if any of these people come to me and said to me, yeah, Limz, you have to do this, and I say, oh, I can't do it because why is there because? When you're back home, there ain't no because. There is no because. You do it. Whatever you can make money out of, you have to, innit? But here, like,
well, absolutely. Well, the youths here, they want £1 million today.
Yeah, today.
Or they want £1 million pounds
right
a year.
You have to work for
you know,
it,
and, you know, there's no patience. There's no willingness to have a plan and say, well, listen, my youth, you know what I mean? Give yourself 5 years. See yourself, where would you like to be in 5 years' time? You want a house, this and that? Well, this is 10 years, you know, by then you'll be 25. How about that? You can be a millionaire by the time you're 25 and avoid all the life-threatening situations which might cause you to never see 20, never mind 25. You know, really and truly, you know, we have to. I remember myself as a youth. You know, I remember when I ended up in jail because I committed robberies, justifying that, well, I had to pay my rent, buy my food. I was living on my own at 16, and blah blah blah. This was true. You know, I didn't have no money, but I could have gone and asked my grandma or my mother for money. I could not only, or my uncle, but too much pride. Oh, I'm a big youth now, I ain't asking no one for nothing. And then on top of that, and pride leads us to sin. Pride comes before the fall. And then on top of that, you know, when I ended up getting arrested and in jail, I thought to myself, you know something, I could have gone round and cut people's hedges for £5 a time or whatever, you know, at the time. You know what I'm saying? I could have washed cars. You know, I could have done this, I could have done that, you know, and all that, and I wouldn't have to be sitting in here rotting away. You know, another fact of the matter is that, you know, in the name of the Father, Mother, Creator, God of all the universe, of life and of all things, love, light, and healing, I beg all the churches out there, anybody connected with the churches out there, come join us. Open up your doors. Let's have youth clubs in those churches like we used to do a long time ago. You know, because churches once upon a time, they housed youth clubs. You know, every so often you went to this church place or that church hall to a youth club. So come on, please open up your doors. Let the youths in. Let's have youth clubs again and get our sons and daughters off the streets, you know, and
but they ain't got nothing right now.
Absolutely. And not only youth clubs, but open it up for other facilities where they can learn new skills, where they can meet people who will help them to find jobs and things like that as well. And we need you mentors out there, you know, to come forward. You know, we need your help. We need to fulfill, you know, God's will on this earth plane, because God's will, you know, is love and joy for us all, full joy, you know. And right now we've become like devils, following after death and darkness and evil, and glorifying it, and then crying, saying, well, you know, after it's all done. What is this is insanity, sisters and brothers. This is a mental illness, you know, and of course, you know, this originates from trauma, and with the trauma we're creating more trauma on top of the trauma that we're trying to overcome. Exactly. Health, absolutely.
Mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just jump in there, because this is quite serious, you know. And as a wise man said to me, one of my teachers said, if you're stupid and ignorant, there'll always be a business. And he went on and said that intelligence rules the world. Right? And these people are making money out of our ignorance, and there's a business. Is there a live call coming through there?
I think so.
All right, let me just answer that call there.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings.
How you been?
Evening.
Good evening.
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. So, where you want? What's your name? Where you phoning from?
Yeah, my name is Dawn.
Okay, Dawn.
And
yeah,
I would just like to add to what's being said. You know, in terms of what everyone seems to be going through, all this chaos, confusion and madness, we need to reconnect and remember where we come from. This is the only way we can know where we are going.
Come on, sister.
Well said there, you know. Well said there, because, you know, we've not only lost our way, right? We've turned kind of beasts, you know. We've turned beastful, turned like a beast, and ungodliness and no consciousness. Because, and I'm gonna say that, you imagine now, right? You run into a youth club where there's putting them in there, you know, kids them in the age of 5, run up and down the place, doing their dance class, and someone want to fling a shot after somebody inside with little kids and adults. That's mental health. That's madness. That is madness.
And it's not touched on.
That is just madness.
It's learned behaviour. It's learned
That's
behaviour.
right, yeah,
It's post-traumatic stress.
That's right. That's right.
But that's where we need to learn how to prevent it from happening from early age, because now, yeah, it's a thing where everyone knows what's happening, yeah? So it's like, since everyone knows what's happening and what these kids are going through, why not try build on something? Like Brother Dougie said, churches. Do you know what I mean? Chama said churches, everything, you know what I mean? You've something, just something, a little something for them to do, because just that little bit, yeah, even just them listening to this speech, whatever they talk today on the radio station. Just them listening to that alone will push them towards that bettering themselves. Do you understand? Because where they're not hearing no guidance, and the parents are there, but you think you're there, but you're not there. I don't know if you got kids, but do you understand?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is this, right? As the sister said that, we don't know where we're going, right? And unless we have a culture, and part of the culture, you practice your rituals, right? And part of the culture, part of the rituals, and part of the, we talk about rites of passage, right? That you go away or spend some time to understand what it is to be a man. Same like you have a young girl go away, understand what it is to be a woman, and be a responsible woman for your community, and a young man be a responsible young man for his community, so he'll be accountable to his community. There is no accountability among young people. See? So what you have today, you have young people just willy-nilly out of their mind, right, as Tamara said, right, and doing crazy things because they're out of their mind. There's no culture, there's no value in them at all. See? So what you say, my sister, you're absolutely right. And we need to go back to our culture and our rituals.
The culture, the tradition, is called Sankofa, where we go back to the past and retrieve what is lost. A lot of us are looking outside of ourselves for the answers, and we need to go within to find out. And all our ancestors are within us. It's within our DNA. A lot of the trauma is also within our DNA, just like we carry the next generation within us. In the man, it's the sperm, and in the woman, it's the eggs and the grandchildren. The woman has eggs, and they are the eggs of her children and her grandchildren, because women are born with all the eggs that they'll ever have.
Okay.
So we need to go back and look towards our ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon. We stand on the shoulders of giants. And that's our connection that we have lost. When we were colonized, they went around the four corners of the earth, colonizing and killing most of the indigenous people, and we've lost a lot of the knowledge, we've lost the traditions, we've lost the rituals, we've lost the cultures, and this is why we are confused today, because we don't know what we should be doing. And when we're looking in every corner for the answers, we're turning every rock.
But you see, sorry, Mr. I agree with you, because when you don't know your history, right, or you don't understand yourself, you're very confused.
Yes.
Right? It's like if you observe someone who's is it Alzheimer's, when they lost their memory or their so forth, they become very confused, yeah?
Yeah.
And in fact, they become a danger not to themselves, to other people as well.
Society.
Right? Because they've lost their memory, you know what I mean? They've gone. It's like us.
We've lost all knowledge of our greatness.
Sorry?
As a people. We've lost all knowledge of our greatness as a people.
But
we haven't lost it, it's still there. We just need to educate the young ones coming up.
But this what I'm saying, my sister. I'm just trying to ride on the point you're making. That I mean that we I'm riding the point where you're making, my sister, that because we've lost our greatness, our knowledge, our history, become a danger, not to ourselves, to other people as well. Like someone's got Alzheimer's, you know what I mean? They get very confused, So the point you're making is a very valuable
strong one.
Point, and it's about practicing our rituals, because every race of people has played the practice for them rituals, Halloween, bonfire night and we had one at Christmas and Easter and all kind
Every
of
other night you can mention, innit?
you know Halloween, you know, everything them but that's their rituals. You see what I'm saying?
So we need to rediscover our traditions and our rituals.
Right.
And
right.
like you said, rightly so, everybody had their traditions, right down from the Vikings who wanted to be buried at sea with their boots on, carrying their sword. And right down to the people that built Stonehenge. Everybody had their rituals and their cultures, and we've all need to remember. So if you go back to some of the original indigenous cultures now, i.e. in Africa, they are helping us to reconnect with our ancestors, how to communicate with our ancestors, and so how we can and the way we're going to do that is to practice the culture and the traditions.
Yeah, I'm you know, I'm in total agreement with what you're saying. You're absolutely right. You know, because if you look at adorated people, they prize their culture and their tradition. You know, if every race, look at the Jews, the Chinese, the Asians, you know what I mean? They, you know, beside us, you know. Yeah, and to me, that is the way forward. That is the way forward. Because what's going to happen now that you're going to have generation of generations, you know, we're talking about young people just doing crazy things, you know? Yeah.
Nah, definitely. Do you know what? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it all makes sense. But like, it all goes, like, to me, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Yeah, it's like, as a generation, yeah, as a like the older lot kind of thing to these young'uns, yeah, you have to remind them of where they come from. And like, obviously, as hard as it comes across, yeah, like me being a young'un before, yeah, we all were, innit? But when I was young, I hated the fact that my parents will turn around and say to me, yeah, but you know, in my days, do you know where I'm coming from? Kind of thing. Like, in my days, this is what we had to go through. This, but it feels like, to me, as a 30-year-old, I say that to my younger brothers now. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we all grow up in it, but I say that to them, and the way I say it to them is a lot different to even how my parents used to say it to me. Because they used to say it with ease, innit? Oh yeah, but you know, my days, we never, we never did this, we never did that, we didn't have this opportunity, we did that. These young'uns, yeah, they have this opportunity, they have all of these opportunities. The only thing they don't have right now, which is an excuse and a reason, is youth clubs. Listen to me, yeah, like, you guys, yeah, the ones that are older than me, that are in their 40s and 50s and whatnot, you guys grew up with no youth clubs. You had to make do with what you had, which was you being outside on the roadside, finding stones and whatever you had to do. Not no disrespect, but finding what you had to find in order for you to have fun or to be partnership, collaborate with whoever you're trying to chill with. Do you understand? Now these kids, their excuse is we don't have youth clubs, though we don't have it. No, what the situation is right now is they're losing. They've lost that. The mindset is not there, yeah? And where, like, I wanted to ask you a question earlier, but I slightly lost my thought. But I wanted to even ask you, sister, yeah? Do you think, or am I right, yeah? This is all coming because, you see, as, like, the older generation, you don't have time to chill with your children. You don't have time to speak with your children. So you're too busy working. You're too busy running around and sorting this out, that when you do see your kid, oh, you're right, how was school? And then your kid's gonna be like, oh yeah, oh, school was alright, mum, innit? School was alright, dad, it was cool, innit? Don't worry. And then they dip out. You don't know what they're doing. That's not him telling you or her telling you how was school? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the I keep mentioning communication. Communication. Same thing as a relationship.
Yeah, but
whatever life shit, communication.
Let me jump.
Am I wrong for saying this or not? Am I wrong for saying this or wrong?
Honest communication.
Yeah,
honest communication.
Let me jump in. Let's put things on the table here.
Go on.
Right, because
Yeah.
because you see the thing is this, right? That please. What it is that I think it comes down to, right, is about culture, identity, because because we don't know who we are, right? And once you don't know who you are, you won't have a purpose and there's no direction.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's going to come down to that, because we can say that there is no youth club, right? Right, and there's this and that. But everything starts from home, right? Everything starts from home. And we have to take responsibility as parents, as adults, because if you know better, you should be doing better. See? Because why is it you have other race of people, who are more effective, more responsible, have a purpose, have a direction? Because they know who they are. And once you know who you are, you have a purpose and direction. You see? And what they've done to us, right, they strip away our culture and our identity. They've done it deliberately, right? And that's the reason why we're confused. Remember I talk about Alzheimer's, when you talk about Alzheimer's, they're confused. They're dangerous. They're so dangerous. They're a threat to yourself, to other people as well. So the work really is about identity, our culture, our rituals, and our spirituality.
Yes, and tradition.
African spirituality.
And also to understand the system that we are under. We are under a system which we cannot identify. I call it the matrix. And a lot of what we're experiencing has been placed there by design. So we need to identify that so that we can move forward, and also to find our purpose in life. What was we sent here for? We weren't sent here just to work 9 to 5 and have babies and go out to the nightclub. We were sent here with the role, be it to heal, be it to teach, or even teach, heal. And there are some people that see us. We all have gifts. And we need to somehow reconnect with our gifts so that we can help ourselves and our ancestors, because it's all a part of ascension for us and our ancestors. So we need to reconnect, and this is why I'm at the moment engaged with ancestral renewal and communication, and that's with on a spiritual level, because we don't need to be walking around hopelessly, not knowing where to turn and who we can talk to. But that's what our ancestors are here for. They're here to assist us.
Yes, sister, and we need people like you to. I don't know what you're doing, but we need, elders like yourself, or learned people like yourselves, to be running some classes on Black history, culture, spirituality, and traditions, and on ancestral healing, and and yes, and trauma. People who are well versed and well knowledgeable and understanding on these issues, on these matters, on these topics, with love, of course. And because it's all very well good, because we can go on talking about trauma from now till next century, and about ancestral healing and so forth. But we got to start working now. Let's set up shop now. Come on, you got to spare 2 hours a week. Yeah, let's find a little, a room somewhere, something. I know a room I can rent for 10, 20 pound an hour or whatever, even if it's 50 pound an hour. Let's do it, because we're wasting a lot of money and time on nonsense. Come on, let's get it together, because I know there's a lot of people out there, they know a lot of stuff, and all they're doing is talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, and it sounds so good and we all agree, but ain't nothing happening. I mean, I'm not of that nature, to be honest with you. I prefer to be in the action. The action. I rather work on what I know and what I'm capable of. I'll use whatever talents I've got, to do what I can do. We don't, so let's get together and let's just start these classes. Let's educate our, sons and daughters out there. So I appeal, I beg, all you great intellectuals out there and great learned sisters and brothers out there, come on, phone up, let's get your names and numbers, let's communicate, let's get it on, let us manifest it, instead of just talking about it, because it all sounds good, but it leaves me frustrated, because I say, well, is that all? Okay, yeah, we all agree on that. Well, come on, action. That's what we need. Let's do it.
Let me jump in there, because I think that we got to talk as the first thing, right? Yeah, because talking is again, But with talking, there has to be evaluation, and obviously there's work with it. Yeah, because there are people out there doing things out there, right?
We do run online courses at the moment called Ancestral Renewal and Communication, ARC, with Chief Montana. He's an enshrined or initiated warrior chief in the Dogarabi tradition, located in northern Tamale, Ghana. And he's teaching indigenous cosmetology under the guidance of Dr. Maladoma Sum.
Mm-hmm. So what?
And it's really
sorry, Mr. What takes place? So you have classes, yeah?
Yes, online courses.
Okay then.
Yeah. Okay. And we're taught how to communicate, with assist our ancestors. We work with them, and they to help to fulfill their purpose, so that we can fulfill ours and why we were sent here. Because we all agree before we come here to do the work. It's not a holiday why we came here, but in so doing, we forget what our purpose is. And life happens, there's distractions, and it's all by design. This is why our name was taken, our language was taken, our culture was taken, our tradition, our religion, everything was taken from us, so that we're in a weakened state. We don't know where to turn and where to look and who to ask. And the only way for our families to become great again is to regain this knowledge. And it's through ancestral renewal and communication that you'll achieve this.
Well, the funny thing is that I want to say the funny thing is about it's quite interesting, because Edison, who I really respect, and admire his insight of ancestral, you know, you know, talk about ancestors. That one of the things he says that the ancestors are talking right through him, because it's not really him talking; it's his ancestors that are talking right through him, and
Yeah.
his insight, his depth of knowledge is so, vast, and he's so humble, really humble brother. You know what I mean? You know, and to me, this is where the work is, right? It's really the work, as I say, within. It has to go. We have to go within now.
You have to go within,
Yeah.
and you can't rely on other people. You have to be prepared to do the work, because, it's a big responsibility. To say I'm ready to engage into why I was sent here and to fulfill my life's purpose. But it's very rewarding, and you find the peace that you're looking for.
So, personally, I'd like to know more about the kind of work you do. We'd definitely like to encourage you to phone in on the radio and bring us up to speed, because these are the kind of knowledge, information we want to bring to the forefront. As Tamara is saying, you know what I mean? That because there's so many people out there doing things, and we like to know what they're doing and see how we can, join the dots. Because
Yes.
join the dots and see what people do, and see how we can have a force in this society here, because to me that's the way forward.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Most definitely.
is there a website, or is there like a
Yeah, the website is www. Chief Montana, spelled ChiefMontana.com.
Right. Say it again one more time, please.
It's chiefmontana.com. www.chiefmontana.com. And that's the ARC Rooted in Tradition website. And that tells you about Chief Montana and the classes that we run. And we provide a divination facility. But if you want to be able to communicate with your ancestors, we will also teach you how to do that, if you're spiritually mature enough to do it.
But you have to be, obviously, you definitely have to be open, right? But do you go through a process like a process of going through a course of meditation, or?
Yeah, it's a process of initiation.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, in African tradition, it would start with a naming ceremony, or even before. From the time a woman knows that she's pregnant, the elders would take her to one side, give her massages, make sure she was eating correctly, give her breathing exercises. They would communicate with the spirit of the child to see if there was any obstacles. And then there would be a naming ceremony, and then there's a coming of age when the women, so the young girls or the young men were coming to age. They would go through a ceremony, and it would be explained to them their roles in society and what was expected of them.
Right.
You see, all our children don't go through any of this. So they're not given proper guidance.
That's right. But it just come back to what I was talking about earlier about the rites of passage, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing about young girls understanding their role to be a woman and be responsible as a woman and so forth. Like young boys going away or understand their responsibility as a man and their accountability as a man. So, see, to me, unless you have these things in place, you're gonna have a history of recycling history, right? Generation where people just carry this kind of behavior. You know?
You're correct. But it goes further back than that. There is ancestral healing from, going way back, depending on sort of what you've been through, your ancestors have been through. And so you've got your whole bloodline that you have to heal. It's a process of healing.
Okay, the bloodline thing there, I need to be, okay then. So you said the bloodline needs healing, yeah? The whole bloodline
Yes.
Okay then.
Cleansing. It needs cleansing.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay then.
I mean, a lot of us that are here, like in Britain, there are foreparents may have come from the Caribbean or Jamaica, and they would have gone through the passage during slavery. What was that called again?
The Middle Passage.
Yes. And so they would have endured circumstances that we could never even imagine.
Okay.
But that trauma is still remembered in the DNA. Just like diseases can be passed down, or illnesses can be passed down, memories can be passed down as well. And it can also skip a whole generation. When traditionally in Africa, when somebody was, having a child, they would do a divination to find out which of the ancestors are actually coming back.
Well, now, say that again. That's quite interesting. Say that again.
They would have performed a divination to find out which of the ancestors are coming back.
Okay. No, that's everyone.
Because energy never dies. You can't create it and you can't destroy it.
Yeah.
So the spirit is like an energy, and it lives. It's been here from the beginning, and it'll be here till the end.
Yeah, that's true. You put things in perspective there, because energy can. That's why they said you can't really die. Energy can't die. It's like I had a conversation with someone about was talking about water, right? And I said to him that, you can't kill water. You can't.
It's got memory. It's got memory.
You can't shoot at the water and he's dead. Or you think you could stab on it and it's dead. It's got it'll come a different kind of form that can't die. You know what I mean? It's like with self, which is energy. You know what I mean? That can't die. So, yeah. Well, my sister, I wanted you to continue to reason with us in the near future.
Yes, I will do, definitely.
Yeah, please, Mum.
And I'm hoping to bring Chief Montana here, hopefully in May, and so he will be able to, engage.
He'll be coming in May, yeah?
Yeah, he's coming in May.
Okay, then I'll speak to you about that, because we'd definitely like to host an event with him.
Yeah.
Definitely. Etc. My sister.
Well, if you go on the website, it explains more about what we do, and also the classes that we run. And if you're interested in a divination or you want to contact us, but it's basically just to allow us to help our ancestors to fulfill their purpose as well.
Yeah.
Because their purpose is to give us guidance and to assist us to fulfill our mission here whilst we're on Earth.
Okay then. Okay, my sister, give thanks again, yeah?
Thank you. Good night. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
And have a good evening.
Blessings, come on.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Okay then. So as you see that, it's a discussion. What I mean, what is, needs to be talked about. Need to take action. Need to be evaluate what we're doing. And I definitely do not have the answer. I want to proclaim that I've got the answer as well. I don't. And sometimes I don't believe that one individual has the answer, but I do believe collectively we can come with the answers. Concerning what's happened there, because like I said, I was very disturbed when what I heard. It's not happening just at Chestnut. It's happening all over the place. Wherever we go, we just hear the same story.
Area code, isn't it now?
Huh?
Every area code, we're hearing something.
Yeah, hearing something.
New,
Yeah.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
Something there. And it's just like, how can we put a stop to it, man? But like you said, I believe, as a collective, if we all come together, try find a solution, as easy as it is to say, and as hard as it is for us to kind of get together, do you know what I mean? It's easier said than done, like I just said. But at the end of the day, I feel like we have to. There is solutions. You can't pull yourself away from it and say, no, nothing's gonna happen.
I'm glad you said that there are solutions. Where there's a problem, there's a solution.
There's always a solution.
Yeah, but you gotta think there is a solution.
But that's why you come together as a collective, and then when you're together, you learn off each other, innit? You bounce off each other.
Yeah, I mean, even come together can be a bit of a challenge still, but you do have to come together because.
But you have to though, otherwise, how are you gonna get past it?
Well, I've been in this thing for a long time, and there's a lot of ego, personalities, and that stuff. That can be a bit of a challenge. Sometimes it's good to have like-minded people started off, and then hopefully people see what you see and get build. You know what I mean?
Even when we went to that the event the other week, where was it? SSC, was it?
London School of Economics and that's going.
Yeah, that one there. Now, even just the amount of people that you had in there, all the speakers, you managed to say something. Do you know what I mean? The amount of speakers that were there, all these people, everyone's fighting for the same thing. Do you understand? Like, and sorry for those who don't know, it was an event for young youth, African and Caribbean.
I got there late, so I just heard about it.
It was basically African Caribbean speech. Sorry, I forgot the main essence of it. The main essence was basically for them, everyone to come together. You got speakers from all different communities, but African and Caribbean, and then they all came together. They had their say. You got people that are trying to be mayors and whatnot.
Yeah, there was a guy there.
It's just so many different.
Limz, yeah,
do you know what I mean? People that are doing wonders on YouTube and whatnot, but all for the same cause, which is to help young black people, like young African Caribbean people, like get a say in the community and to try put their voice across. But then at the same time, it was all built to. How can I explain it? It was all mainly basically, how can we all move forward as a collective? And this is what more or less this conversation's been about. And the young sister that we just had phone in, bless you, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all the same thing. And I feel like we're doing this constantly. And we're constantly doing this. We're having these conventions. We're having these, like, talks on radio and this blah blah blah, but when are we actually gonna sit back and actually say, yo, let's put it to practice? Stop talking, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is, like you said, the egos. Put the egos aside. Your kids are dying. It could be your God, may touch wood, as they say, may Allah for like not take anybody's life away, but it could be your child or your nephew or your cousin or your younger brother or someone that's going to pass away tomorrow due to all these causes that we're talking about.
It's very true, very true.
And if we don't make something, like, try pursue, like, we basically, I believe, we've got to the core of the situation. We've actually got to the core of the situation. You understand me, brother? We've got to the core, sisters, everyone listening. we've got to the core of the situation. But what are we actually doing about it? Because this is the main, this is the actual, forget talking about it. We can talk about it for 5 next hours, 10 hours, and then just put it aside once you leave the studio, or these people lock off their station, their phones or the internet, whatever, they lock it off. We can do this, which is what's most probably going to happen. But if you do that, let me ask you a question. How you helping the situation? If you're not helping, in my eyes, you're adding to the situation. So you are all going away. Yeah, but I had my say in it. I had my say. I spoke on the radio. These people listen. I phoned in. Blah, blah, blah. I send a message, text message. But, like, all well and due, go outside and actually put this into practice. This is what's causing these kids to actually... We can blame the government 24/7, yo. 250,000 minutes a year, however much you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think, put the government one side. We have
everything, man. Put it into practice,
we have to look at ourselves, and we have to take responsibility.
We have to, man.
As adults, as parents, and as Tamara is always saying, we have to be honest with this thing, yeah. You know, be honest. We're
not playing with a joke, you know.
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
This is real life.
And these people ain't playing with us neither.
No.
You know, they're not playing with us. They've got an agenda, and they're carrying that agenda quite full into it. Yeah. Okay, the live link number 079 444 313 31366. So, what's time, Tam?
It's 4 minutes to 4 minutes to.
All right, so Tamara, you want to? Tamara, you want to do a poem, because we're gonna cut very shortly. Do a poem. You want to give it your details? Yeah, we'll give you details now, then quickly.
Yeah. Right. I'm Limz Ali, LIMZ ALI. For those who didn't know, I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, award-winning youth leader. So I go around doing acting comedy workshops, which you can come down to North London or anywhere where I might be hosting them. Come down, bring your kids down, do you know what I mean? Give them something different to do. Like, it's comedy acting workshops, so they get to learn, interact with, like, from politicians to actors to comedians to, do you know what I mean, social, everyone that's like a lot of people that I do know and in the industry and I'm surrounded by, and they come down. They give speeches, they speak to their young people, they give them a light head, do you know what I mean? Give them something for them to work towards, and an opportunity where they're not getting. And then at the same time, you can catch me on YouTube, which is Limz Ali. You can catch me on Facebook, which is Limz Comedian. Basically, just go add me on Google, which is Limz Ali. And just type it, that's LIMZ ALI. Catch me in my new movie that's out. You can get it on Amazon Prime, something that I'm acting in, which has got a lot of a lot of actors that are from like Games of Thrones and whatnot. So you know what I mean, like ITV from BBC4, Channel 4 to ITV. Check me out, and then yeah, that's Limz Ali. Just yeah, man, add and subscribe. Come to my show. I've got a show coming up in May. Yeah, check that out, and then
just run out of time still, because the other DJs inside the host. So we're gonna bring the show to an end. So I want to thank Ali for being inside the host. Unfortunately, Tamara's never doing his poem, but so again I want to thank Tamara and Ali inside the host.
Bless
so again,
and love everybody.
Give thanks and praise.
Continue.
Thanks for having me.